This is Kim, the Humble Hermit. Come as you are, Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today, Sunday. It's January 5th, 2025. I wanted to say January 6th. Okay, all the dates are off for some reason. Like, I'm already thinking to the end of this year. And I was thinking about December. And now I'm thinking about tomorrow. You may follow me on the book, the Insta, the Talk, the Tube, or not. Totally up to you. You can also try Blue Sky Social, Lemonade, or not. Again, totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, fabulous. We love that for you. If it doesn't, just leave it on the table for someone else. Don't take on energy that wasn't meant for you. Pretty easy. We're doing A Pop of Love from Vibe About It. Etsy. Vibe About It. It's a shop on Etsy. This is a big ass deck. It's 100 cards. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We got one on the table. I don't think... Okay. This deck is very unruly. Two on the table. Three on the table. We got four on the table. Okay, we got five on the table. Six on the table. Oh, if you hear noise, it's probably Seinfeld in the background. I left it on in the other room. Mrs. Pickles look lonely. We got seven on the table. Oh, shit. All right, we got 11 on the table. I'm going to do one more shuffle. 12 on the table. Okay. 13 with bottom of the deck. I don't want this deck to slip and slide, so I'm going to set it over here underneath the little container for my microphone. When I went to that luncheon for my neighbors yesterday for her birthday, I was talking to the girl downstairs. I said, how do you put up with that lady and her dog? She leaves that dog out on the chain for hours. And how he doesn't get he or she, I don't know the dog, but how they do not get eaten by a coyote, I do not understand. We got courage, destiny, unawakened, juggling. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Don't even. Union and in sync. Stop it already. We got age difference. Insecurities. Magical muse. Acquiring knowledge. Naughty thoughts. Balancing. Ghosted. And bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, ego-driven. You know what's funny though is when I said bottom of the duck, I saw somebody ducking. Not like a duck. Somebody like ducking underneath. I want to yell out the window like a New Yorker and be like, shut up! Shut up down there! It's not the dog's fault. I don't know why she puts him out there on the chain. It's annoying. All right. So, 13 cards on the table. With bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take out resonates. It doesn't matter. So there's like a karmic energy here, and then there's like a healing energy here. And this is supposed to be two people that were supposed to be in a union, so I feel like I've been getting this all morning. So like twin flame, soul contract, soulmate, divine counterpart. There is an age gap difference. One person is older, one person is younger. So whoever the healing energy is the courageous one, and whoever the karmic energy is the unawakened one. And this was destiny that the two come together. But this unawakened person, this is someone that, with the juggling card, like they don't want to let go of their old life. They might be in denial. They might not. They might know exactly where they're supposed to be and they don't care. With the juggling card, having too much on their plate, dealing with multiple obligations at one time, unable to make decisions based on confused emotions. And this doesn't just have to be like, oh, I'm juggling options. This could be they just juggle a lot because they don't have any clear mind space. This isn't someone that like meditates and, goes within. So their mind is constantly going to be running, like overdrive. Pardon me. This person is very insecure, unsure of who and where they are in life, wears a mask to hide their feelings in fear of rejection, constantly covers up who they are in fear of what others may think of them. There's a little quote on the flip side of each of the cards if you turn them around or turn them upside down. If you really knew who I was and how I felt, you may not love me anymore. I'm afraid you'll reject me if I show you who I really am. Who you really are or who you were in the past. Do you know what I mean? Like if you get on a healing journey, who gives a shit who you were in the past? I just talked about this on one of the other readings. Like who cares? If you're committing to yourself, forget about anybody else. If you're committing to yourself to heal and grow and change and move forward in life in a positive direction, on a positive path, then who gives a shit about your past? People are always afraid of how they're going to look. Why are you afraid of how you look? I don't know how many times I have to say, almost every person on this planet goes through the same damn experience. Who gives a shit? Like, seriously, we all live through what we live through. Who cares what someone else thinks? Healed or not healed? Karmic, not karmic. Who cares? I've lived the life I've lived. Somebody's going to make fun of me for it, for living my life, for making mistakes, then fuck them. They don't make mistakes. I just don't understand people that are worried about how they look to the outside world. Who cares? Just saying. I'd be more concerned about how I look to friends and family members. But even now at this point, I don't give a shit about that either. You want to think I'm crazy? You want to think I'm a lunatic? You want to act like I'm the problem? I'm the loser? Fine, whatever. I don't care. Not my problem. Well, this karmic energy is worried about awakening and whether or not they can keep their old lifestyle and the fact that they're insecure about themselves. This courageous person is taking inspiration from all around them and putting it to work for themselves, while also probably being an inspiration to others, even if they don't know it or not. Maybe, I don't know. This person is acquiring knowledge. This person is like learning. It's coconut. Yeah, they're learning. I've said okay, so I've said two things you're gonna do your whole life. One is heal. From birth to death, you're gonna be healing. And one is learn. And if you're someone out there that you're like, no, I'm good. I learned everything I need to learn. What did you say to me? No. That very much gives off an ignorant but ego-driven energy. like some asshat that literally thinks they know everything and people should come to them for the answers. However, they haven't opened up a book in 10 years. They haven't watched an informational documentary or a video or, something. They're not learning. If they're not constantly learning, how can they teach? Just saying. Just saying. And there was, I can't remember who the reader was, but it's someone that I watch every day. So maybe Rose Love Tarot or Bronwyn's Cove, maybe. Possibly Through Lynn's Eyes, maybe. But a reader had said that now I lost my train of thought. A reader had said that I wouldn't take the advice. What was it? I wouldn't take the advice from someone that knows how to follow it. From someone that doesn't know how to follow it. Something like that. Like something like I wouldn't take advice from someone. No, I think it was about learning. I wouldn't take advice from someone that feels like they've learned all that they've needed to learn. I don't know. I hope maybe I'll get to see that video again. Maybe it'll come through and I'll remember it. But it was just like when I think it was a she. So maybe Bronwyn's Cove or Rose Love Tarot. She's right though. Like, or maybe she just said don't take advice from someone not on a healing journey. Well, either way, like it made me realize, like, no offense to the people in my life, if they ever watch this video, which I doubt they will because most of them don't support me. Which is fine. I don't care. I support myself. There's not a lot of people in my life left that I would take advice from. And even when I talk to certain like friends about certain things in my life and they like chime in, I don't really record any of that information. Like, to me, it's just like in one ear and out the other because those people don't have anything to offer me. And that's not, it's not meant to be mean or bitchy. It's just they're on very different timelines than what I'm on. And these are people that by comparison, to me, they're not driven. They're fine with sitting at home and watching TV on the weekends. These are the same people that are fine being codependent on boyfriends and girlfriends for money and nice things because they can't do that for themselves. These are people that I wouldn't take advice from, like they don't really have anything worthwhile to give. And they have in the past, I probably would have jumped at a chance to take advice from these people. But like now when I look at them, I'm like, really? Like I'm going to take advice from that person? And what do I need to take advice from someone else for when I could just go with my own intuition and my gut? And on top of that, go to God. What do I need to go to another person for? I don't know. Just thoughts. Whoever this unawakened person is, they have naughty thoughts about this courageous person, but I feel like the courageous person has naughty thoughts about this unawakened person. Sexually fantasizing about you, strong need to be physically near, undeniable sexual desires driven by instincts. I can't help but want you physically, sexually, and mentally. You're all I think about when I'm alone and lost in my thoughts. The thought of you drives me insane. Look how they're licking the phone. You know what's funny is I used to do that. I used to lick people. Just like friends, family. Only people I knew would not freak out. Like there are people that I was friends with, family members and stuff. I knew that they would freak out if I did that. But there was a few that like it was just funny, so I did it. I haven't done that in a long time. And I mean like like go to hold their hand but then lick their wrist or like cuz what is that? I don't know what movie it's from, but it's I licked it so it's mine. It was like a kids movie or something, right? Like where the character made a joke about it or something. I thought, I don't know. I never saw it. I was told it was a quote from a movie. This courageous person balances themselves out. This is worded as though it's coming from the karmic, but this is someone enacting actionable change for themselves, righting wrongs as best they can for themselves so that they can continue to move forward. Understanding that what this courageous person puts in, they get out, you know? It's justice. This unawakened person ghosted this courageous person in the past. Or possibly this courageous person ghosted this unawakened person because they realize, they ain't shit. This unawakened person is very ego-driven, act in one's own self-interest, driven by a need to prove oneself better than others, does not truly love the person, but loves more what the person gives. My pride and my ego held me back and stopped me from being my true, authentic self. I'm afraid you'll reject me because I fear I'm not good enough for you. My self-confidence was just a facade. So here's the other thing, too, that we don't really talk about. Healing people tend to come off as very ego-driven, especially when we haven't hit that stage where like we just let it all roll off our back. Like we're at the point where like, okay, you're going to try and fuck me over again. I'm just going to walk away. Like I got nothing to say. I'm just going to walk away. when you haven't hit that point in your healing journey, you tend to come off very ego driven. I feel like, in my opinion, and I'm sure I probably still do to some people. When I tell people like, oh, I was on a healing journey, I don't drink anymore, I don't do drugs anymore, I've been celibate for a year and a half, they probably think, instead of me telling them what I'm doing for myself, They think I'm telling them that they're shit because they're not doing that, even though I don't say that. So people probably tend to think we're very ego driven because we're different. You know, we're on a path, we're on a journey. And people that are on that, they don't know what that is. A friend of mine on Facebook, on my personal account, made a comment. I want to say it was like New Year's Eve or something like that. And she made a joke about, smoking weed and being single, and that's all she needs is her pipe or something like that. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, girl, you are 30 something years old. Like, when you're 40, you're going to be like that? And then I thought about it. I have friends that are like in their 40s and their 50s and they act like that. And I'm like, I mean, they're no longer close friends, but I still consider them friends. At the very least, acquaintances. But it's like, when do you let that shit go? Like when your grandkids come into the picture? She's 30 something, and I think she has one kid, one girl, and I think her daughter is like 12, 13 maybe. You were destined to meet strong, unbreakable bond, passionate love, and strong desire, deep inner knowing of divine connection. I am understanding our relationship and our connection. What I once thought was trivial was something more on a higher consciousness. I couldn't understand it then, but I do now. I'm fearful of letting go with what I have and what I know. What you're asking of me is impossible and makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. I want to commit to you. I want to hold your hand in sickness and in health. I want to walk into the sunset with you and never look back. I need to release certain commitments and fully commit to you. Union and in sync, working in perfect rhythm with each other, feeling seen, heard, valued, respected, and cherished. Fully present with that person, mind, body, and spirit. You guys know how I feel about that. Like, whoever this courageous person is, they could let this unawakened juggling fool go, and God will bring in someone else for them at some point. But this unawakened juggling fool is going to continue to be surrounded by karmics and low vibrational people. And how wonderful is that for them? That they never have to make a commitment in their life for the rest of their life. Some people just don't get it, you know? I'm just gonna say I'm gonna end it with this because I'm just gonna say what I always say, and that's um, I wouldn't wait for a past person to come back. I wouldn't wait for a past person to awaken and heal themselves and balance themselves out and realize that they let the possible love of their life go. I would continue to move on with my life. And if said person were to ever reach out, depending on how many months, years later, no. No. Like, you would have to have a really damn good excuse not to reach out at least like a year later. You guys know how I feel. Like, the year is kind of like my cutoff. Like, I no. Um June will be the 2-year anniversary of the last time I saw the guy that I was seeing for like 4 or 5 months in 2023. And July will be when I broke up with him and I became celibate. 2 years. That's a year past. Like, if, and you know what's funny? I don't know if he moved. I don't know what the deal is, but he used to live like 5 minutes from me. I live in Round Lake Beach, Illinois. He lives in Fox Lake, Illinois. He lived 5 minutes from me. Like, he could literally be at my place in 5 minutes. In this almost 2 years, year and a half now, I have not run into him in town. We shopped at all the same places. Never run into him. Again, he could have moved. He had that girlfriend or whatever in Michigan. He could have moved, for sure. He could have moved down by his dad in Southern Illinois, maybe. I don't know. But again, in a year and a half, even those like first few weeks after I broke up with him, never ran into him. Not once. Not once. If I were to run into him now, I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? You doing good, buddy? Congratulations on your girlfriend." I would only say that if he had his girlfriend with him, or a wife, maybe. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would be nice and cordial and polite. Um, but there's no going back there. Like, there's no reason for me to go back there. No. Mm-mm. I'll pass. Thanks. And it would be laughable too to actually run into someone from my past and then them think that I was giving them vibes like, "Oh, I want you back," because that is not the case. There is absolutely not one person from my past that I would want back. The only person from my past that is in my life is the ex-husband, and that's because he's my ex-husband. That's it. And actually, it's kind of funny because I think I've told you guys before, like, I've never, and not that you can't be friends with your ex, but I've never stayed friends with my ex. I've never, like, kept in contact with anybody. Like, it's done, it's done. So long. Bye bye. Especially since most of my past people were like situationships, friends with benefits and stuff. Like, we don't need to revisit that. Like, you're not going to offer me a commitment, and that's all I'm looking for. So it's all good. You can just stay over there, sir and or ma'am. I would just say, if you're this courageous person, continue to work on yourself, continue to move forward. Continue to seek God as your counsel, and I don't think you can go wrong that way. Just saying. I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but I am. I'll talk to you later. Bye.